We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Marion Service Departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody. This is Senator Vicki Sawyer, along with not David Coble today on We're Just Saying. David has left, and so now we have Sam Zobrest here with us.
Yes. I was just walking down the hall looking for the restroom, and someone pulled me in here and sat me down. I'm not sure what's happening.
I was like, oh my gosh, David's not going to be here, and me droning on by myself isn't that fun.
So I think it's entertaining for the people listening, but probably for you, it's more fun to have someone here with you.
Well, Sam, so we knew each other. We know each other because through my husband.
Yes.
You guys are really good friends.
Yes.
You also had a really funny joke, and you and your wife had a funny joke about Brett and me.
That's
for
true.
Quite some time.
That is true. So as Brett and I started spending time together, going boating, doing things like that, we had never seen you and him together ever. And so my wife, I don't know if you're familiar with the show Cheers.
Yes.
There was Norm, and I think his wife's name was Vera, and they always talked about Vera, but you never saw her.
Yes.
And there was even an episode where Vera came in, but she got hit in the face with a pie or something like that, so you never saw her actual face. That was the running joke in our house, that you were Vera and that Brett actually was not married to you. And he just was making up this story to sound cool.
Well, now you know we're here live together. I do
official.
exist. We have been married for quite some time, as well as you.
Yes, I've been married for it'll be 20 years at the end of this year. So
20 years.
The 20 year. I'm going to start working on some sort of a trip or something
nice.
Yeah,
you do. You do, because now from your voice, I can tell you ain't from here.
No, I am not. No, I am not.
So where are you from?
I am from Arizona, which is unusual because everyone that you meet here that's not from here are all from the Northeast. So we actually, instead of coming here to warm up like most people are doing, we came here to cool off. So it's actually cooler here than it is in the deserts of Arizona. So I've enjoyed having 3 seasons. People thought I was crazy when I first got here. It was with the first fall, I was so excited to see the leaves change.
Aww.
And they said, you don't have leaves? And I said, well, we do. They're just tiny, tiny, tiny leaves, and they don't change color. And they don't really, most of them don't even fall off. So yeah, so it's been nice to be here.
So you were born and raised in Arizona?
Not born in Pennsylvania, but moved to Arizona when I was just a few years old.
Okay. Now, so then since Arizona is in your past, did you see what the Arizona right now is going through with Kari Lake and the fella that's the chair of the Republican Party resigning? Did you hear that whole thing?
No, I haven't heard about it.
All right, well, I won't spin it to you too much, but Kari Lake, you know, that the one who's running for Senate, the head of the Republican Party for Arizona, she secretly recorded him, allegedly, because it kind of seems kind of set up and edited, but anyway, she recorded him saying that people out east doesn't want her to run, and so trying to get her a cush job so she would stay off of the ballot. So kind of confirming those.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Would it not? I mean,
she seems like one of these people like Trump and that, like Vivek, that the establishment is scared of. So it wouldn't surprise me that they're doing anything they can to keep her out of politics and keep her out of some sort of a position. Yeah.
And so you mentioned Vivek, and we've talked about him on the radio show. What are your thoughts about him?
Well, I like him. Actually, I never thought he was actually running for president. I thought he was running for some sort of a position, with Trump. I don't know about, everyone said VP. I don't know if he would be a great VP, but hopefully he'll do something if and when Trump becomes our next president. But so I do like him, but he's like a junior Trump. He's like a young Trump. They're outsiders and they say brash things, and but he's got some good stuff to say.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate some of the things that he says, and I can see how some of their approach to politics speaks to most, but not to the establishment, right?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, the establishment hate those people.
Yeah.
The Kari Lakes and the Viveks and the Trumps.
Sam, I got to be careful, though. Am I the establishment now?
No, I've spent time with you and Brett outside of, out in the real world. You are not the establishment.
We are not the establishment.
You're just regular North Carolina folk. I got to be honest with you.
I mean, I'm not running up to try to bribe somebody to not run for an office.
That is true.
Yeah, that's not it. So, okay, good. So, I worry.
You're not the establishment.
Because, I'm like, since I'm elected and I've been elected for a little bit, can I say that I don't like the establishment, or...
I think you could always say that. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's always fair game.
Yeah, well, but then I go to the establishment when I need help with stuff for my community. So I'm like stuck, right?
Well, yeah, but we need people like you that are just regular folks that are. There's no other way to change it, but put you into the establishment and try to change it from the inside out.
Yeah.
So definitely. So
yeah, we try.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I mean, Trump was president for 4 years. I still don't think he's part of the establishment. I still think he's considered an outsider more now than probably even back then.
Yeah, I saw a couple clips. Okay, so I think TikTok has basically ruining my ability to focus on one thing for a long period of time. I will not
go on TikTok. I do not have it. I have never gone on it. And, yeah.
Is it the China thing?
Yes, actually. Yeah. I just like, and you know what? Social media rots people's brains. So I try to stay off Facebook if I can too. I use it for some advertising here and there, and I do log on. But yeah, I try to limit all that stuff if I can.
Yeah. So because you are self-employed as a realtor.
Yes, I'm a real estate broker, realtor.
Yeah, and you're a real estate broker here in the North Mecklenburg and Iredell County area.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I live in Mooresville, love Mooresville, wonderful town. Can't say enough good things about it, and have represented buyers and sellers. Actually working with someone in the heart of Charlotte now, which is a little unusual for where I do business, but Concord, Stanley, Charlotte, all the way up to Taylorsville. So it's wherever someone needs a buyer or seller house, I go. So I've seen the whole area, and it's beautiful. Like I said, we love it here.
I'm glad to hear that. So it always makes me sad when folks move here and then they complain. And it seems like a lot of folks who just move here do complain, especially about the traffic.
Well, that's true, but nowhere's perfect though.
Right.
I mean that's every time I get stuck on 150 in traffic, of course everyone's going to get frustrated, but I think I live somewhere where everyone wants to be, where everyone's moving, and so I could live somewhere where no one wants to be and have no traffic.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know what? Thank you for that perspective, because I feel the same way. When we're in Raleigh and I see communities all across North Carolina, their problem isn't traffic. Their problem is there is no general practitioner anywhere near them. If they get hurt, they don't have a hospital to drive to. And we've got 3 in the Mooresville area that's within 20-mile radius, maybe even 4. So we have top-notch health care. We have great schools. We have all of these wonderful things. But traffic is a drag.
That's it. I tell my clients, because I can't lie. I take my oath to always tell my clients the truth. So I do tell my clients, love Mooresville, love it, live here. Schools are great. Community's great. People are great. But traffic is a little rough, especially on River Highway. You try to avoid it during rush hour.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so what do you see most in the last couple minutes that we have here before our break? What do you hear from clients as they're moving down here? Why are they moving? Is it taxes? Is it just area? Is it quality of life? Like, why do they pick Mooresville or this area?
Well, weather. I mean, definitely, because I do deal with a lot of. I have started to see people from California and Arizona and out west, but the people who are coming down from the Northeast, a lot of it's weather, a lot of it's politics. I mean, definitely during 2020 and 2021, there was every time I talked to someone new, they had a New York accent. So I mean, it was or Ohio or Wisconsin, or they were coming down from some of these larger cities that they were dealing with the weather when it was a pretty nice place to live. But now you mix weather with the lockdowns and political things and everything that's been exposed over the past couple of years, and they headed down to North Carolina.
Good. We're glad. I mean, I'm glad to have them. And
it's great.
Yeah. So it's been as a native North Carolinian who was born and raised around these parts, as we say, I appreciate that we have beautiful restaurants to eat at and great quality of life. And there's just a lot of things going good here in Mooresville and North Mecklenburg and Iredell County.
I agree.
Well, thank you so much for listening to We're Just Saying. And Sam, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We do have a guest caller coming in, I-77 Mobility Partners, to stay with us after the break. We'll be right back.
We'll return with more of NC Senator Vicky Sawyer, and We're Just Saying after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, overall, really not a wet day of weather for our Friday. A shower here or there, not out of the question. Otherwise,
hey, Rob, can you hear me?
Sunshine, and we get crazy warm for January.
I can.
All right, cool deal. We're on break right now. We'll pick you up when we get back.
We'll start our weekend dry. Saturday morning.
Thank you.
Starts dry with high
By the way,
temperatures in the low 60s.
in case you're wondering, my last name is pronounced
the afternoon and
Bover.
evening, and there could even be a thunderstorm.
Bover.
We're clearing it out on Sunday. Temperatures in the low 60s.
Thank you.
And we're dry and cooler next week. That's your forecast for the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Merlefest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information can be found at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Mooresville's Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Chi-Town Transit Authority is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. Come hear the 8-piece Chicago tribute band, horn and woodwind sections included. Chi-Town Transit Authority, Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. KaneArts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Now back to We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, everybody, to We're Just Saying. This is Senator Vicky Sawyer along with guest host Sam Zobrest, and we do have a guest caller calling in. And Sam, this one actually came from a listener to the show who listened to our DOT and DMV segment last week, and he posted, I want to learn more about the tolls and I-77 Mobility Partners. I had just went down to their, I guess, mothership, and I went and saw their headquarters, and Rob Bovair was there with me. And so I invited him on the show, so he's agreed to be here. And before we put him on, let me just give you a little history about Rob. He is the Corporate Affairs Director for I-77 Mobility Partners, the company that constructed and operates I-77 express lanes. He's a former news anchor for Spectrum News, and he transitioned from on-air to helping nonprofits in the Charlotte region. And he's got a little bit of a political bug as well. He's helped out some campaigns. So, Rob, thank you for calling in, and welcome to the show.
Oh, Senator, thank you so much. And by the way, thank you for visiting our facilities here. It meant a lot to our workers, our 70 or so workers, to see someone of your caliber taking an interest in what they're doing. So again, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. And during that tour, made the same mistake that I have made for the past, I feel like, 5 years. I always confuse you guys with Centra, with what DOT does, and it's all like one ball of wax for me. So can you, can you explain where I'm wrong and tell the listening audience truly what is I-77 Mobility Partners and what your responsibilities are?
Well, I don't think you're wrong on much, but let me give you the 10,000-foot view. So I-77 Express is a public-private partnership between I-77 Mobility Partners and the NCDOT. So a little bit of history here. As far back as 2010, I know you know all this, but for your listeners, the NCDOT was looking for a way to update and expand the northern portion of I-77. It had hoped for federal funding, but that was denied. And it knew that if it relied on state funding, it wouldn't have been able to begin work until 2022 or so. So it opted for the innovative solution of a public-private partnership, or what we call a P3. And after a competitive bidding process, it selected Centra. Centra, in turn, raised $600 million in private funding to expand the roadway. And that's $600 million that people should bear in mind that did not come from taxpayers' pockets. The state portion was about $200 million. So for a small portion of state dollars, the state essentially got a new roadway. Well, Cintra formed I-77 Mobility Partners to build and operate I-77 Express. And it was built, by the way, just 4 years. I-77 Mobility Partners is an LLC. Cintra is the primary investor in I-77 Mobility Partners, but we are two separate entities. I work for I-77, not Cintra. Mm-hmm. And I-77's sole function is to manage I-77 Express. That's it, nothing more.
Got it.
We don't own the roadway. It's owned by the NCDOT. It's owned by the taxpayers. We manage it. And when I say we manage it, mm-hmm. we manage it from fence to fence, not just the managed lanes, the toll lanes, but the free general purpose lanes and the land and the sound walls and everything that's adjacent to it. So that's the difference.
And thank you. I want to drill down on something when you said manage it from fence to fence, because something was very surprising to me that I saw at your facility when I noticed that you guys help distressed or drivers who are in distress. You have a team that can go out and help, but you also will repair guardrails within a day or so. Talk about you actually the maintenance that you perform on both your managed lanes and also on the DOT-owned lanes.
Sure. So again, the roadway and all its assets, and when I say assets, I mean signs, guardrails, lights, everything that you see on I-77, all of that is owned by the NCDOT. I mean, we pay for it, but essentially it's owned by the NCDOT. We're its custodians. Mm-hmm. And we are charged, we have this vast comprehensive agreement with the NCDOT to maintain the roadway to certain standards. We're charged with maintaining that roadway to the highest NCDOT standards. We try to exceed those standards. I think we do. But if anything is damaged or broken, we need to repair or replace it and do it in a very timely manner. Mm-hmm. The NCDOT has its rules. It requires, for example, you mentioned a guardrail, that has to be replaced in 7 days. Some signs, for your knowledge, some safety signs, they have to be replaced in 24 hours. And we have this dedicated team of men and women who work tirelessly to do just that. And you also mentioned safety. More than that, we have what's called a Safety Service Patrol, SSP we call it. And their job is to help anyone on the roadway in all lanes, whether it's the free general purpose lanes or the managed lanes, 24/7 they're operating, and they provide this service for free. So if you have a flat tire, if you need a gallon of gas, if you need a jump start, they will come and they will do that. And by the way, our contract, our CA, Comprehensive Agreement, requires us to do that within 45 minutes. I'm proud to say that we now are doing it under 9 minutes.
Wow.
So, you're not going to get that from AAA.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to hog the airways here.
No, it's good.
I really have to note that you as transportation chair will really take kindly to what I'm saying here. I need to talk about safety. These men and women are putting their lives on the line every single day, and often they're the first ones on the scene of an accident. Unfortunately, drivers these days, they're just not respecting their safety. They're driving way too fast. They're not obeying North Carolina's move over laws. Last year, we had 3 safety trucks that were crushed by other drivers. One by a tractor trailer. If you can imagine this, a tractor trailer at night racing a car hit a safety vehicle at 70 miles an hour. These men and women, they have families. They have people waiting home for them. I would just say to the driving public, there's nothing that's so urgent that should put that in jeopardy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to take that time.
No, it's okay.
I know that's important to you.
Yeah, it is absolutely. And I do appreciate that. And I saw one of those safety vehicles, and the amount of precaution or whatever you've done or modified those vehicles in order to withstand those crashes, it's absolutely amazing what you've done. But okay, so we are talking about the good things, but let's talk about one thing that comes to my office constantly. So kind of to put you on the spot, So I often hear from constituents about, yeah, well, and I think you had a really good answer during the tour. So I wanted to kind of highlight that. So my emails, most oftentimes when I hear from listeners, is about the toll lines, is about the increased usage of the toll lane. Like, are people really using it? You know, the lanes are stopped in here, but I see that no one's in the toll lane, and cost and all this other stuff. But you guys have drilled down on the usage and have data to support that. So could you tell the audience, are the toll lanes getting used? How much? And, you know, how has it helped?
They're absolutely being used, and they're being used much more frequently every single day. You know, what you can tell your constituents is that I-77 Express is doing exactly what it was intended to do. It is relieving congestion and moving vehicles in all lanes at a faster pace. The thing to remember is that I-77 is a choice. Drivers can choose to use the managed lanes, and more of them are doing that every single day. As I said, right now, about 300,000 distinct drivers are using them each month. Or drivers can always ride for free in the general purpose lanes. Not a toll road. You do not have to pay to use the I-77 Express corridor. But even if you don't pay, this is something that people, I hope, will bear in mind. They are still going to benefit from the managed lanes. Not that drivers in the managed lanes are moving faster. Drivers in the free general purpose lanes are also moving faster compared to 2015 prior to the start of construction. So we work with this company. It's called INRIX. It's the same company that the NCDOT uses for its computations. As you can imagine, we gather enormous amounts of data. And it is telling us that there has been a significant increase in workday speeds from 2015 to today, to 2023. And that's despite an increase of about 15% in traffic volume on the roadway. No secret, this part of Iredell County, this part of Iredell County and this part of Mecklenburg County are becoming more popular. So more people are using I-77, the I-77 roadway. Well, in 2015, during the morning and evening rush hour, the average speed would drop below 40 miles per hour. I bet you a lot of listeners can remember that. You just poke along. Today, despite that increase in traffic volume, in the free general purpose lanes, the average speed is above 50. That's a significant increase. So even if you're adamantly opposed to paying tolls, and I know that there are people out there like that, you are still getting the benefit of the managed lanes. As more drivers choose to move into the managed lanes, 300,000 every month, that is freeing up space in the general purpose lanes and increasing all average speeds.
Okay. Sam, I know that you had a question.
Sure. So I have a lot of kids. And so we originally got not the smaller toll tag, I guess you call it, but the bigger box that has the slide on it that you can switch over to HOV mode. Love it, by the way. When we do have 3 people in the car, we use it all the time, and that's a great free way to get up and down to Charlotte quicker. But I have always wondered, in most big cities, at least a lot of the big cities that I've been in, it's 2 people makes it a high occupancy. Why is it 3 for the toll lanes to be free on I-77?
Well, this was the decision that was made by the NCDOT. I don't know if that decision will be reconsidered in future time. Right now, it's HOV 3+. The good news is we're the only tolled roadway in North Carolina in which you can do that. You can't do it on Monroe Bypass. You can't do it on the roads, the toll roads in Raleigh. It's just on I-77 Express that you can take advantage of HO3+. And I'm so glad that you brought up NC QuickPass. You have that transponder that automatically switches over.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
I can't recommend that people go to ncquickpass.com. That's the website for the North Carolina Turnpike Authority. It's a wonderful website. They've just revamped it. Get yourself a transponder. It's free. Or the one that you have is a one-time charge, I think, of $13 or $16 or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact number. But if you just want to get the basic transponder, it's free. And you need that transponder, by the way. If you just moved here from New York or or another state, and you've got an easy pass, you can't use that to declare HOV. You can't just pile 3 or 4 people into a vehicle, drive on the roadway, and expect to get a free charge. That's not how it works. You have to actually declare HOV with your NC Quick Pass. So get yourself an NC Quick Pass. Right now, we're giving about 94,000 HOV trips each month. That's free trips. So that's the equivalent about, I have the number right, $720,000 in savings.
Yeah.
We would love to see both those numbers go up because right now, only about 55% of our customers have NC Quick Pass. We'd like to get that number closer to 70%.
Very good. Rob, thank you so much for calling into the show and educating us on your role in I-77 Mobility Partners. I'm sure this will bring up more conversation later, so I would love to have you back on the show anytime. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And can I also say that if there are any organizations out there, the chambers of commerce, et cetera, that would like to have us out and talk to the public, happy to do it.
Very good. Very good. We have a Rotarian that I know will probably take you up on that
That
offer.
is true.
That is true. Thank you so much for calling, and we will be right back.
Pay close attention right now and listen for details on how you may save thousands of dollars on your health care costs. Did you know that Medicare can pay for things like dental visits, home delivery of drugs, even a gym membership? Call us right now and learn how to unlock all your Medicare benefits. Medicare and supplemental plans that we provide can even offer you drug coverage with zero copays and pay for transportation to your doctors. Medicare plans can offer you wonderful money-saving benefits, but you've got to call now. We'll help you get the most out of your Medicare. Make this free, no-obligation call now. Save a ton of money on your health care costs and get the code to unlock all your earned Medicare benefits. Paid for by Senior Choice Plans. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. That's 800-508.
It's We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying with Senator Vicky Sawyer. That's me and my friend Sam Zobrest, who is filling in for a vacationing slug, David Coble.
Is that where he is?
I have no idea where he's at.
I thought he was at least working or something.
No. I think, I got the text last night, and thankfully we were at dinner because you were came to support our open house for Sawyer Insurance. And you said, I used to do the radio. I said, you've got a job tomorrow.
I said, all right. It's just fun. I'm glad. Again, thank you so much for having me. And I've always enjoyed doing this, and so I've been thinking about how could I do that again, and there we go. The opportunity just presented itself.
It's a God thing, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. So, question, because you kind of have a behind-the-scenes view on something we're going to talk about, that our area has been in the news lately in regards to hospitals. So we have Lake Norman and Davis, who are Davis Regional, who's in Statesville, Lake Norman's in Mooresville. Those two are owned by the same company out of Tennessee. And that company was trying to sell to Novant, right? I said that right.
Yes, Novant.
Okay. And it had to go through the FTC. And this week the FTC said, no deal for you, right? They said this is because of competition and all this other stuff. I had done some reading about it. Actually, I am supportive of that merger. I think it would open up our area to a lot more resources that a larger footprint has. But your wife actually has got some behind the scenes on the ground intel.
So she is an RN, and she worked at she's worked at a couple of hospitals in the area, but she worked specifically at Davis, and she has worked at Presby in Uptown. I still want to say downtown.
I do too.
What is this Uptown? I don't know. I moved here, and it took me a while, and I'm still fighting the urge to say downtown.
I think you can say, I support you with saying downtown, because I remember as being a resident in the Charlotte area when they decided to rebrand it as Uptown.
Oh, so it was downtown at one point.
It was downtown.
Oh, wow.
In the late 90s or mid 90s, I think, is when they started rebranding it as Uptown, because it really wasn't that great. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I first went to UNC Charlotte, it started in 1993. I'm telling my age here. It was definitely a downtown area. There was some very rough areas right beside it. It's now kind of changed a little bit, and I guess part of that, renewal, they just didn't want to
changing the name.
I support the downtown.
Put a new name on it. Let's call it Uptown, and everyone will want to go there. So
yeah, I know. It's like such a liberal thing to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's just rename.
Don't change it and make it better. Just give it a new name, and everyone will show up.
Yeah,
So.
all right.
But no, my wife worked at Presby in Uptown, downtown, and she's worked at Davis up in Statesville. And she said, when I was mentioning this topic to her, she said, "Oh, I think absolutely they should let Novant buy those two hospitals." That she believes that having worked at both of them, it would be better for the patients, and it would also be better for the employees. I mean, she's specifically a nurse, but I mean, I think all the employees. She said their systems are more streamlined, they're more modern, and we were talking before the show that when I moved here 8 years ago, coming up on coming up on 8 years ago, that was the joke. If you live in Mooresville and you're really having a medical emergency, don't go to Lake Norman, go down to Charlotte. So that's kind of sad. I mean, the Mooresville area is so large and it's growing so quickly. I mean, that shouldn't be a running joke that you can't get good medical care in this area. Go to Charlotte. So, she as being someone who's worked at both hospitals thinks it's a great idea.
Good, because I mean, obviously I'm on the outside looking in. I get briefed a little bit, but I was looking at it as a positive as well, and I just thought it would kind of beef up some stuff. So I'm going to jump around a little bit. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, no, go ahead.
My ADD, my TikTok brain coming in.
Oh, TikTok. There you go. So you have to stay off TikTok.
I was just going to say.
Is TikTok like 30 seconds or something? Is there a limit on, or can you put longer videos on there?
I think you can put longer videos on there. And actually, the reason why I'm going to move our Rated X segment up a little bit because we have a caller in for at 11:45. So I don't want to take time away from him. But there is a TikTok where a young man came and testified in front of a committee, and I believe he was frustrated about gerrymandering or something like that. So on this Rated X segment, I looked at my email this week, and so I share. It's not just directed at me. This one was directed at a few other senators as well.
That's nice. Then that's nice. So at least you can all share in the positive comments.
Yes. So now. I'm going to test your radio prowess here in a little bit because I'm going to ask you to describe the picture that this man sent, but let me read, or person sent. So let me read the email first.
Oh, you're talking about that picture. And I will, my 9-year-old daughter will be watching this later today, so I'm going to describe it in very G-rated terms, but go ahead. I'll give it a shot.
Okay. I'm excited because, I mean, this is like going to be big chops for you because this is pretty Rated X. So, received on Wednesday, January 24th at 4:07 p.m. Eric Willoughby is correct. You don't care about children. I love the way you inbred pieces of were staring at him. Well, all while you keep an eye on him, we will keep an eye on him on your corrupt. Remember, once something is up on the atheist internet, you can never take it down. Also remember, you bleep Jesus every time you use atheist tools like the internet and anything that is derived from Sir Alan Turing's invention. Bleep, these are sent out to other members in case you see them smiling. You will know why. And there's...
Whoa. I like that sound effect. That was nice. That was shocking.
I was glad that it was me and at least 4 other senators, I guess because we were seen in the TikTok video that this young man had put out there, that we were targeted. So it wasn't just me.
Well, that's good.
So that's good. Because usually it's just at me because I've got a few others in here. But it was accompanied by probably the grossest picture.
Do you have I looked at it and then I didn't. Oh, you have it right there. Okay, so I can try to describe it.
So that's a senator's face.
Okay, so that's a senator. So Jesus and is that a sheep or a goat or with the senator's face on it are being friendly.
That's good.
There we go. They're getting to know each other. There we go.
Okay. Sam, you passed.
I passed.
You can
there
come
we go.
back.
I don't know how to. So when I was printing out the notes you sent me for today, I was like, oh, delete. I'm not printing that out and having one of my kids walk by and see it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and see it on the printer. So I deleted the picture before I printed it out. I can't believe people. I mean, I have true I truly dislike very strongly to hate some people on the other side of the aisle for me. I could never imagine sending something like that to someone. Like, it's just not even in my DNA. I mean, the picture's terrible, but I mean, like, even such a hateful, we were talking about some other ones you've read. I mean, I just don't, it's just not how you do things. How is that going to get, it's desperation, really. I mean, how is that going to get anything done just by swearing at people and calling them names? And I don't know. It's bad.
It may.
I don't know. Has that changed how are you going to like, well, I'm going to vote differently now because of this picture I received?
I was going to mention when thinking through Rated X this week, and thankfully this guy came in and produced on Wednesday quite well, because I think a lot of my haters, there's a few still strong ones, they don't tweet back mean things as much to me anymore since we started kind of enjoying and making fun of it. But no, because it's going to hurt my Rated X.
Oh, you're going to have to. Oh, I'm sure you'll still find. Yeah, I've read through some people's. Well, they're not this bad, but I've read through people's comments just on your general Facebook post. There's always someone who's angry out there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. There is. Sure. Well, I guess we this week's Rated X was brought to you by a very angry person with the ability to do some photoshopping. That's
cut and paste or Photoshop. That's a wonderful thing.
Hey, so cut and paste. Let's talk about something else. There's a lot of folks like me who need to lose a few pounds who are on the state health plan, and the shot, the jab, but not the COVID jab, the fat jab.
So it's funny. I actually, Vicki, when we first talked about doing the show, you mentioned a few topics, and I never saw that one on there. And then I saw it this morning, and I thought, is that directed at me? Are you fat shaming me, Vicki? I mean, is that because you saw my proportions and thought this guy might be an expert on this stuff?
You are not a small person.
No, that's true.
But I wouldn't consider you where you would need that. I mean, you're tall. You're pretty tall, right? How tall are you?
6'6".
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm like an offensive I'm a middle-aged guy, but it looks like he used to be an offensive lineman.
Okay, so there you go. So no, this was not about you. I mean, I could use it, but I don't have it. But we have a lot of starting April 1st, the state health plan, which is the largest group plan I think in North Carolina with 700,000 members or something like that. They'll no longer get their fat medication covered by the health insurance.
There you go. There's no piece. You could have said, yeah, that's just the way to put it out there.
So is this mad at me? Because I'm thinking about all my friends that I know that are doing it, and when they start gaining their weight back, because it's $1,300 a month, the shot is $1,300 a month without subsidies.
Mm-hmm.
If they start getting their weight back, I might just kind of smile inside a little bit.
Well, again, and I think I am a person who every day is thinking about making better eating choices. And you said, I struggle with weight. And so I'm not I'm not some tiny person who's pointing the finger, but I get it. I mean, first, if you ain't got the money, you ain't got the money. So if our state government is having trouble funding this because of all the cost of everyone using it, this may be something we have to cut out. And there are other ways to lose weight. And again, not pointing the finger. I'm not doing these ways. I'm not participating in them either, and I have to, and I should. But my wife, as we were talking about the show, this brought up a good point too. She's like, how much do we subsidize gyms? Or do we, there's another way of looking at this rather than saying, let's jab something in you or take a pill or however they take all these things. There's another way to do it. What about spending some of this money on actually getting people healthier and getting people outside? And we have libraries that are free for everyone to use if anyone ever goes in them anymore. Yeah. What about gyms that are free for people to use? I mean, wouldn't that, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that maybe we're looking at this the wrong way.
So are you challenging me to a gym challenge? Is that what I'm hearing? Come on, Sam. I mean, I could lose some pounds too. I mean, I've definitely carrying and not as healthy as I should be. But the idea of being able to jab myself for free with something to lose weight is enticing.
I am of the age that I remember, I think I was a kid when it was happening, but it was a fen-phen.
Oh,
and how it hurt everyone's hearts. And so I am very hesitant to take something for weight loss. Like I keep saying, I'm going to do it myself with apples and carrots and chicken. And I'm not, but that's what I keep telling myself rather than take some pill that may cause damage or harm.
All right. Well, the diet journey of Sam and Vicki will continue after the break. Thank you for listening to We're Just Saying.
We'll return with more of NC Senator Vicki Sawyer and We're Just Saying after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, overall, really not a wet day of weather for our Friday. A shower here or there, not out of the question. Otherwise, we get some breaks of sunshine, and we get crazy warm for January. up to 70, even some low 70s this afternoon. We'll start our weekend dry. Saturday morning starts dry with high temperatures in the low 60s, but then rain moves in by the afternoon and evening, and there could even be a thunderstorm, too. We're clearing it out on Sunday. Temperatures in the low 60s, and we're dry and cooler next week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. MuralFest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information can be found at muralfest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home
Hey, Shane, can you hear me?
Show? How about the Charlotte
I
Home
can.
and Remodeling
All right, cool
Show?
deal.
Throughout
Just
the day,
wanted to double
you have
check.
your
We'll
chance
be right
to win
back.
tickets. Listen
Thanks.
to Good
Okay.
Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Mooresville's Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Chi-Town Transit Authority is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. Come hear the 8-piece Chicago tribute band, horn and woodwind sections included. Chi-Town Transit Authority, Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. KaneArts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Call now to speak with NC Senator Vicky Sawyer at 844-STUDIO-4. It's We're Just Saying on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying with Senator Vicky Sawyer, that's me, and Sam Zobrest. I guess I could call you kind of like part of my kitchen table.
There you go. I'm the everyman.
I'm
just a regular fellow from Mooresville.
Yep. And with a conservative slant to you.
Yes, very conservative.
Yeah, I've heard.
Sometimes I hold it back because I get that you want to fit in everywhere. And you know what? And I work with people. I have clients. I believe I don't ask, so I don't. But I mean, I have all kinds of clients of everything across all spectrums, and I'm happy to work with them and help them. And I think that's what we're missing is you used to be able to be different and still get along and have different opinions and still get along. And boy, that seems to be disappearing quickly.
Yeah, I know. So you kind of have to bite your tongue and just move forward. Yeah, same here. But, we do have someone who's not political, is doing the Lord's work, I think, for Iredell County. He's on the other line, and we want to welcome to the show. He has been so wonderful, called back 3 different times because I had my timing messed up on the scheduling. His name is Shane Nixon. Shane is actually the leader of the Drug and Alcohol Coalition of Iredell County. We had him in studio, I think, a couple of years ago, and then he called back in last year because they always do a really big event. So Shane wanted to come on today and invite everybody and tell everyone what is going on. Shane, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Senator Sawyer. And first of all, could I hire you to go with me and be my introduction everywhere I go?
Yes. Or I'll record it and send it to you so you can play it. Thank you.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful to hear your show this morning. We do have a great event coming up. It's February the 5th from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock at the Civic Center in downtown Statesville. We call this event In the Know because our goal is to put parents, people, everybody in Iredell County in the know about what's going on in the world of substance misuse in our county. This year, I am just thrilled to death to tell you that we have Sam Quinones. A lot of people won't know his name, but they would know his work. He's written 2 New York Times bestseller books. The second one won an award in 2019 as the best book of nonfiction narratives in the United States. It was called The Least of Us, the real stories of people who have opioid and fentanyl addictions going forward and what their lives look like and so forth and so on. He's considered by many, many people the expert on substance misuse in our country right now at the level of the individual who's burdened with abuse.
And so this event you will be hosting, and also tell everyone more about what your daily walk is with the Drug Alcohol Coalition of Iredell County, because I know we all have a friend or know someone who is battling with addiction. Like, we just heard Sam's addiction with food, but
I don't know if I went that far.
I think that's what I heard.
Okay, maybe somewhere.
I'm just kidding.
I'd
say
maybe it was written between the lines.
No, I'm just kidding. Mine and Sam's addiction to wonderful, delicious food. But tell us, Shane, what you guys are doing every day to help our area.
Okay, if you could imagine with me, I'm not a math person. In fact, I really struggled in school with math. I'm not a really smart guy. I'm pretty dumb, but I know this. If you could draw a graph, and on that graph, the x-axis would be substance misuse, and the y-axis would be time. That graph is going to look like a bottom left to upper right arrow. It's just going to be going straight up. That's what substance misuse looks like over time. It's just a continual upward movement. What we have said since my coming now almost 2 years to DACI is that our goal is not to try to completely make that line flat. We understand that locks only keep out honest people. And so that line's always going to be going up. But we want to flatten it as much as we can. One very specific example of that, I'll just give you this. Statistics are what they are. We know from our research that about 1 in 3 middle school students in Iredell County have vaped in the last 30 days. What we want to do at DACI is take that number from 1 in 3 and make it 1 in 4 or 1 in 5. And you say, well, that doesn't sound like a big thing and you're not making that big of a difference. Tell that to the mom of the middle schooler who's number 4 or number 5.
Wow.
So that's the thing. We want to flatten the line. We want to make substance misuse less of a problem in Iredell County every day.
Wow. Well, thank you for that, because I know that it is a huge issue for all ages, not just those young kids. But, Shane, when you said middle schoolers, both Sam and I kind of set up straight because he's a father of 4.
Yes.
In Iredell County.
Absolutely, with 1 in middle school.
Yeah, and I have a mother of 2, but they're a little bit older, but still it's very concerning. And just the usage of vaping and how dangerous that is. I mean, you just don't know what's in those things, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So last year I was in Washington D.C. and I got to sit and listen to the Secretary of the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and she came out and talked about being a parent, and she said, I want to show you a picture of how much fentanyl is deadly. And she put this picture up, and it was a pretty easy to see thing. And then she goes, oh, wait, that's been magnified under a magnifying glass 400 times. And then she panned out to a picture that looked like a pinpoint. And she said, that's how much fentanyl in a vape could kill a middle schooler.
Wow.
Well, my kids are 24 and 21, a UNC Charlotte grad and an NC State junior. And I left that building and called my children right then and said, whatever you're putting in your bodies, you need to know who gave it to you and where it came from.
Yeah.
And it's just, as parents, like you say, it's just one of those things. If it doesn't make you stop and pause, then you got serious issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. And I think, I personally know someone who's lost a child to, an overdose. And I think every one of us probably could say that same thing. And you feel like it, it won't happen to me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it is just completely scary things that we're dealing with. And that's why it's so important to go out and to support the Drug and Alcohol Coalition of Iredell. So before we say goodbye to you, Shane, tell me again exactly when and where and how we all can attend your wonderful event.
Sure. The DACI website is www.daciredell.com, and you can get all the information you would want, and you can register on that website, www.daciredell.com, daciredell.com. It's going to be Monday, February the 5th, 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We have breakout sessions. Sam Quinones is bringing copies of his book that he'll sign. If you already have his book, he'll sign it for you that day. We have local celebrities. We have EMS, law enforcement, the school system. We're doing a thing that day where you as a parent could walk into a makeshift teenager room and find where they hide their drugs. It's going to be a really, really great event. We're going to put people in the know. That's the name of the program, In the Know, February the 5th, 10 to 3, free to the public with free lunch. Can't get any better than that.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Shane. Thanks for your patience and calling back in. Yes, sir, and good luck with your event. So that was interesting.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Sam, so I didn't think you would come into the radio show and get a scared straight moment about your kids.
I know. I've heard those statistics before. I heard someone speak about that, and it is shocking. I mean, my 12-year-old, so I have a 7th grader, and as much as middle school kids are growing, it's a weird age actually because they're kind of growing up, but yet they still kind of look like little kids, and so I can't even picture some of these 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds and 13-year-olds with a vape in their mouth. So I mean that's I've told them, look, don't smoke. I'm not for smoking, but I would, if I caught you with a cigarette, I'd be less mad than if I caught you with a vape, because at least you know what's inside those cigarettes. As bad as it is, I mean, don't do it, but those vapes, you have no idea what's been put in there.
No, I remember, so how times have changed. I'm going to give you a little peek into my childhood. All of our family smoked. Mm-hmm. Everyone, dad, mom, grandparents, it was everywhere.
I will say, coming from the west to North Carolina, there is more smoking here than out west.
Really?
I've noticed, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Well, I grew up in Winston-Salem. In fact, one of our elementary school field trips every year was to go to a place called Whitaker Park, which is R.J. Reynolds' showpiece on how cigarettes are made.
That is funny.
And when I was much younger, there would be a little old lady sitting outside the bus waiting for you to get up, and you to leave Whitaker Park to get back on the bus, and she'd go, "What brand does your mama smoke? I got Winston's and Winston Lights here."
And they'd give the kids cigarettes to take home to their parents. Wow, times have changed.
Yes. And then I remember my sister and I running around, and actually any of those unsmoked butts when we were little, and we would smoke them.
Yeah. Would you actually pull them out of ashtrays?
Yes.
What do they call them? Leave-ins or something like that?
I don't know.
I've heard a term for them.
How times have changed, I just so sorry. I feel like I needed to share that with you because I kind of threw you under the bus there during the Shane Nixon thing.
What you're talking about with the addiction to food?
The addiction, yeah.
That was a little rough.
I thought that
was rough. I'm gonna have to be alone a little bit this afternoon and think about things, think about my feelings.
Well, I usually get to pick on David, and I know you're new to the show, but I feel like you can handle it.
I can handle it. And no, it's back to the food thing. Yeah, absolutely. It is. I mean, it's tough every day. Every day you have to, I try to think Hershey's Kisses or apples. And I've been doing more apples in the new year, and that's good. So I'm trying to make better choices. But yeah, it's tough. It definitely is.
It is tough. Something else is going to be neat and tough locally here. The Farm Bureau of Iredell County always hosts a forum for candidates. And folks will say, well, I don't know about candidates, so who should I vote for? Or, this is a good place to get a bipartisan look at the candidates that will be on your ballot in March. So I do want to promote February 1st from 7 to 9 in the Statesville Civic Center. There will be the 10th Congressional District Forum. So that's going to be the candidates who are trying to be your congressman or woman, because there's 2 women in the race as well, for them to showcase why they want to be and have your vote. So again, that's February 1st, 7 to 9, Statesville Civic Center. For as local candidates, or actually there's a House race that's coming up too. So February 12th at 6:30 for North Carolina House Representative 84th District, there will be a forum. And that forum, it will again be at the Iredell County Extension Office. And just wanted to let you know that's North Iredell. And so if you want to learn more about the 2 candidates that are running in that race, please come out so you can hear. Sam, great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
We're going to have you back.
Okay.
All right. Be here. Have a great weekend, everyone. And thank you for listening to We're Just Saying.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC States